What's up, everybody? Thanks for choosing Riley Reckoning. Today I'm rather excited. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects. It is subject of glam metal, I would say. So, I think I just about drove my parents insane with the band Motley Crue, for real. So, all I did was wear Motley Crue t-shirts, Motley Crue patches, Motley Crue albums. Imagine waiting 6 months for a tweet. That's kids that are growing up today, they don't realize how the internet really did change the world. Having all that information right at your fingertips, it really did change the world. So back then, talking early 80s, Motley Crue came out in 1981, and through the rise in popularity, which was rather fast, the only way you had to get your information was I would go buy magazines. I would wait for them to release home videos like the Motley Crue Uncensored, Uncensored 2. You know, all the Crue fans out there, they know what I'm talking about. And there was always this talk in all the Metal Edge and Rolling Stone and Hit Parader, all these dozens of magazines back then, which once again was the only way you had to get your information. There was always interviews about stick to your guns and toast to the town. And they were being thrown out into the audience at the early days of Motley Crue in Hollywood, California. And everybody was always looking for these, I don't know if it was record or cassette. It may have been both. I've seen pictures of both, so it's hard to say what's bootleg and what's not these days. But back then, if you could get your hands on one of those, it was like the Holy Grail. You know, it was about unheard of. So I looked and looked and looked, being the diehard Motley Crue fan that I was, and I kind of gave up on stick to your guns and toast to the town. I kind of quit looking for it because I figured you're never going to find it. The few that are out there, who knows what happens to them. You know, to say the least, it's not like these albums were going necessarily to the most responsible of people. You know, you're talking about an audience that was very similar to the band in many ways. That's probably a topic for another video. But needless to say, I gave up looking for this, and it's actually my Kupo, who I am thankful showed me a copy of a band called Pretty Boy Floyd. And Pretty Boy Floyd were together, I believe it was 1987. I have it written down here, I'm trying to see. To 1994. They kind of were off and on, then they got back together again later on. But they had, on the back of an album that she showed me, I was going through the song list, and I noticed it said Toast to the Town. And I said, is this Motley Crue song redid by Pretty Boy Floyd? And it was. And I gotta say, Steve Summers, at that point in time especially, sounded so much like, he sounded more like a young Vince Neil than Vince Neil does. Or did. At this point, it's did. But, you know, everybody's voice changes as they get older. And I will say, at that point in time, it was Steve Summers, Christy Crash Majors. That's the only two members that I can actually remember. But they're still going. Yeah, they're still going. Pretty Boy Floyd. I'm going to put links in the description for Motley Crue's version of Toast to the Town, which was released on Leathur Records through, I think it was Kaufman and Kaufman. Yeah, and that was in 1981, and 1987 was when Let's see. It's actually October 5th, 1989. The Leather Boyz with Electric Toyz album was released. And in my opinion, with the exception of the guitar solo, Mick Mars kills it on the guitar solo. It can't be duplicated. Mick Mars just has a unique style of playing that nobody has that sound. And if you're a guitarist, you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm going to put links in the description. You tell me which one is better, Motley Crue's version or Pretty Boy Floyd's version. I say with the exception of the guitar solo, yeah, Pretty Boy Floyd, it's probably, I would say, a tie. It's really a tie, and you would swear on your life that Vince Neil is singing in both songs, but it's not. Kudos to Steve Summers, and we will see you next time on Riley Reckoning. You never know what we're going to talk about here.